Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video I will be discussing about the Amazon SDE2 offer of one of the TechDose alumni Ujwal. I have already added the timestamps for each of the different part of the videos so that you can directly jump, and if you want to rewatch then you can rewatch that too. It will be covering the interview experience for Amazon Seattle in United States, and all the interview process throughout the world is same, so it does not matter on location. It was based on online assessment plus all the on-site rounds on the same day. He will be sharing his own preparation plan and telling about what was the timeline that he actually had and how much time he asked from the recruiter, and everything in detail have been discussed. So I will highly recommend you to watch till the end.
I mean, for HLD, all thanks to you, Surya. Firstly, I mean, I wouldn't have done anything in HLD. Before you, I thought, oh, I need to know separate design for YouTube. I need to do separate design for this. But after talking to you, your classes, I felt like you don't have to know 10,000 designs.
Yeah.
You know few designs, know them well, so you can apply those applications.
So hi Ujjwal, congratulations on your Amazon offer. It was really wonderful news from your side, and actually I thought that you had called me to ask some more questions before appearing for your interview. But to my surprise, it was a good news and couldn't have been even better. So yeah, I mean, how are you feeling about after getting this offer?
Yes, I'm feeling great, and I think that whatever you taught me was very helpful. Lot of, I mean, I used to study system design by myself, but there was no direction. Like everything seemed there is so much content online, and everybody says different things that
Yeah.
just kind of confuses, and then and you don't have somebody to tell you that you know this is right and this is wrong,
Yeah.
or maybe some information is redundant or not needed. And if you watch any video on YouTube about system design,
Mm.
everybody will give a system design interview in a different style.
Yeah.
So you don't understand which is the right one, or which one to give and which one not to do. And do
Yeah.
you have to, I mean, you won't understand that. Do you have to remember name of each thing in the box? Let's say if somebody is mentioning, something, then do you have to remember the name, or do you have to remember the name of each database? Someone is mentioning the
Yes.
name of each database. Do you have to remember that? Or and then a lot of things that you wouldn't know because you're watching a
Yeah.
video on YouTube. The YouTuber will upload and go, but who will tell you after that? You know,
Yeah. So
you
actually,
you
the thing about making a YouTube video has a different target, and actually doing something for views and doing something for actually clearing the interview is completely different thing. And if you upload, you cannot upload a 4 hours video on design. Simply as you have seen the memcast, which we have taken like 5 to 6 hours on that. And if you upload 6 hours video, nobody is going to watch that. Simply, okay, that is not going to happen. So people also upload according to the what other perceive as the right thing to do, right? And I see that the design questions are more about the building blocks one after another, and you understand, if even if you get a new design to be made right from scratch, then how would you solve each of the problems one by one. And you must have seen, after so many questions being asked, I always refer to a couple of solutions all the time for to solve your problems, right? So you might have also guessed it that okay, this is a go-to solution for this kind of problems. And you design anything, name can be anything. And if there is something to be done, let's say consensus to be solved, then these algorithms are already present. So you can easily do that. And after doing something, you can actually get into that mode that you will understand what is the requirement, and the core requirements are just the HLD basics, right? One of them will be the requirement, and some multiple solutions are there for them depending on the trade-off, and accordingly you have to prepare. So
Yes,
yeah. And
agreed.
what people don't focus on
I
is
think even if
just
you
directly jump to
study
other.
the HLD basics well
Yeah,
enough and you understand where to apply that, that also would
yeah. I
be
mean,
very helpful. Yeah.
what people don't understand is they try to jump directly to the design, Twitter, design this, design that. And they are like maintaining a bunch of sets, which I also saw from your side that you have also done a lot of design already. But you then start feeling like this is the solution for this design and that is the solution for this particular design, right? And then you start to doing a lot of designs, like 40, 50, maybe 100 designs if you are continuously doing that, right? And you will feel like I have to remember these things, like I have to remember what should happen for this design, right? And you will be anxious as well if you don't
Yeah.
remember it.
There's no direction. You just don't know what
Yeah,
to do. Yeah,
there
your
is no
direction.
direction. In like in DSA, still you have some direction that you have to solve a problem. But in design, yeah, you are directionless totally, and any design can come, right? Any
Yes,
custom design can also come. You do not even know.
yes,
So
yes.
that has to be
Yes,
prepared. Yeah,
exactly.
but
DSA is a different ball game. DSA,
mm.
there are some algorithms, something around that. But in design, you're like, oh, there's no algorithm, what to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll come back to your questions. Uh, the first question was if you can tell us about something about your offer, which company, what location, any CTC breakup.
Amazon is offering me for Seattle,
Hmm.
and yeah, so the company name is Amazon, and location is Seattle. Yes.
Hmm. And what about the CTC range, if you can give some vague
Uh,
idea about it?
yes, the CTC I think will be around uh, 250 to 300
Okay,
USD.
USD. Okay,
Yes.
fine. So, yeah, I mean, that's good. So, how much percentage of this is in base and how much is bonus?
I think the joining bonus will be around maybe 90K,
Okay.
and around 170, 180 should be the in hand, and rest should be stocks that are vested. I'm
Hmm.
guessing. Even I'm not sure at the
Okay.
moment.
Okay. Okay. So I think you seem very exhausted for today.
Yeah. No,
Let me.
actually, I just got the recruiter call today,
Uh,
and then me and my brother, we went out to eat, and I just kind of do.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
parting. Okay, fine. So I'll ask you a couple of more questions and then
Yes,
we will be done.
yes.
So if you can tell me like about the rounds, like how many rounds were there, starting from the beginning, and you can give how many DSA rounds, how many design rounds, and what type of and level of questions from what chapter did they ask, like that.
So we had four. One was online assessment. First was online assessment that had two questions, and I feel that online assessments are harder than interview. I think because they have to filter out a lot more students, and I think even I mean I don't know. I mean I'm guessing because now people have Chat GPT as their friend,
Yeah.
so they do make assessments more harder now. You know, I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, no,
I
no.
can't.
That is absolutely true. Assessments and even interviews have gone harder in the
Yeah,
past year. Yes, that is true.
yeah. So, and I think it's also because people have a lot of resources to study now. So, I mean, if
Yeah,
you
but it is less about the resources. They have already been present. The main reason is about cheating and framing the question in such a way that the maybe the AI would not answer it directly.
yeah,
So
but also if you think, even like 10 years ago or 15 or 10 years ago, how many people had videos about system design or DSA? Uh, Barely few people. I mean, if you look at resources, like, you know, yeah, but now you open lead code and that will give you login
yeah,
solution, that
yeah.
will give you end solution.
Ah,
Every,
the
yeah,
solutions and all are there, but the main
yeah,
reason is the supply and the demand. That
yeah,
balance has got imbalanced, to be frank. and a
Yeah.
lot more people outside of computer science, even outside of engineering, want to be a software developer. So once so many people start wanting something, then the difficulty level has to rise, just like the IIT JEE exams, just like any top college of the world. If you want to get into that college, everyone wants to get there. So
Yeah.
it is hard. Yes, I know. I have been seeing from the past like 8 to 9 years from my time how the interview used to happen, how it happened in 21, 22, and how it is happening now. And believe me, it is going to be even more harder, right? Because the
Yeah.
seats are not going to increase. Maybe it can decrease, and the demand will still remain. So,
Yes.
yeah, the
Yes.
people have to prepare more, definitely. So, if
Yeah.
coming back to our question, like if you can tell me about the round wise, the round one, round two, and so on, like what were they?
First was online assessment.
Mm-hmm.
Then
So
I
how many
had
DSA rounds did you get? I mean, DSA questions you got in the online assessment and time?
so two DSA I had, and it was 90 minutes, I think so. And then I had a work style assessment,
Hmm.
and after that, you get a call from recruiter.
Okay,
Then
so before that, like in the DSA rounds, you got two questions.
two questions.
What
Yeah,
was the level of the questions, first and second?
man, I think level
Hard,
was
definitely.
tough.
One of them has to be hard. The second one
One of
definitely,
them,
and
yeah,
one medium,
hard.
hard, and hard,
One
right?
one was hard, and I think one was medium hardish. Not, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that
yeah,
that is that is what I was expecting. Medium hard first one and hard the second one. What
yeah, yeah.
chapter do you associate it with?
I would think
Both the
second
questions?
one was DP,
Okay.
some hard question on DP,
Uh-huh.
and first one was segment trees.
Oh, segmentary in the first question.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
expect that. That would have
yeah,
been the second question, actually, if
yeah,
you are giving it.
yeah,
Yeah,
first.
because very few people would do segmentary, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Segment tree. Yeah, range-based
Okay.
query is something that you wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice,
So
nice. Then you have done really well in the first round because tackling these two questions is so much difficult, right?
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
then, and
Huh.
then I had interview, and then recruiter will schedule an on-site interview.
Hmm.
Uh,
How
so
much was the gap for you, like for the first round and scheduled
on-site,
on-site? Yeah. 1 month?
uh, no, I took a lot more than 1 month.
Okay, how
So
much? Okay, you asked for it. Okay, how much
yeah,
you asked?
I think I took 2 months.
Oh, nice. So actually you got some time to prepare, right? That's good
I
on because you
yeah,
have prepared a lot in the past 2 months, right? I see that.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I somewhere in Jan I gave the on assessment. The recruiter reached out. She said, "You did well. Let's schedule an on-site."
Hmm.
And then when I said, "Let's schedule an on-site," she mentioned that I was little anxious. She said, like out of 10 people, usually 2 people will only clear the on-site. She said that's
Mm.
the success
Oh,
rate.
20. Mm.
20% would clear
Mm.
the. So I got scared. I'm like, I don't know if I'm that 2 people. So I said, can you give me some more time? How much time do you need? And then I
Mm.
said, okay, give me 2 months. Can you give me 2 months?
Whoever had genuinely cleared this round, if they were genuine, I think it would be more. I mean, it cannot be 20% because many people would not be doing themselves probably, and that's how you do not clear the on-site. And since you did it yourself and completing these two type of questions as you mentioned is you are already in the top 90% to be frank, in the DSA round for sure, right?
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, so then the recruiter reached out, and then I asked her for dates, and she told that for first 20 dates the whole slots are booked. Don't have any date for you. If
Uh,
you want to apply to some other part, other org, you can
mhm.
apply to some other org. We have
Okay.
various org. So then I said, no, that's okay. I'll stick with you. 20 days, you don't have days. Anyways, I'm also not prepared. I
Mhm.
will schedule after 20 days. So that gave me more buffer. You don't have dates, I'm also not prepared. So fine.
Okay.
And then I was never scared that even if I give interview after 4 months, that they will be out of they won't have any seats available because it's a big company. They hire they
Yeah.
hire thousands of engineers every year, right?
Yeah. Your
Every
teams
year,
may change, but yeah, seats will always be there.
yeah, their job portal always is open with is
Yeah.
always, yeah. Smaller company you usually won't have,
Yeah.
usually,
Unless they do any hiring freeze, otherwise it will be
yeah.
there. Yeah.
Usually all the big companies are hiring all the time, almost every big company.
Mm.
So then I thought, okay, I can let me prepare. So then I thought I'll study system design, algorithm. Oh, but come, I don't want to digress. But
Yeah.
yes, so yeah, then the first
You
round,
got 2 months of break to study, and after
yes,
two, you had the schedule and all the interviews on the same day. All the four
everything was on the
four
same day.
rounds,
Yes.
I suppose. Two DSA, two design, or three DSA, one design.
Uh, yes,
All
everything
same.
on the same day. Two DSA,
One
one
LLD and
one design, system design.
okay, two DSA, one design, and
Yes.
other than that, any hiring manager round.
No, no, no.
Okay, so
The
so
high,
you had three on-site rounds to after 2 months.
yeah, no, four. Two DSA, one LLD, one system design. Four
Yeah, that
rounds.
LD one I was talking about. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you had one.
LLD.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
After 2 months, like you started on the same day. I think you have four rounds. So yeah, please walk us through the rounds.
yeah.
Like as you had
So
explained, a screening round, right? Two questions, or level chapters, and something like that. Yeah.
yeah. So first round, I mean, usually they'll give you some problem that their company is facing. They'll make up some story. They have some stories, and they'll give you a story. Now, from that story, you extract the problem statement. Then you tell. Like, I
Hmm.
mean, the first round was just based on graph traversal. So it was something like shortest path they wanted me to get, and the second one was something about tree traversal.
Hmm.
They wanted me to find some efficient path on tree,
Hmm.
and the third one was about some robot movement.
Three
Robot,
questions. Mm.
yeah, that's the LLD robotic movement. And fourth one was again a design problem, and that is similar to design Yelp.
Is the
Uh,
robot question something like box pushing and energy getting wasted or profit being
no,
made?
no,
Right?
no,
Okay, not that.
something of their
Okay.
own. And then the fourth one was similar to designing Yelp,
Mm,
uh, location based, I would say, the
mm,
location based, real time location based.
mm.
So yeah, I mean, all of these questions.
Okay, I will ask you a little bit more detail about the rounds. So the
Okay.
first you had how many questions in round one?
Uh, Round one, first they will ask you leadership principle. First,
Okay, for every round they will be asking leadership principle. Okay, how
yeah.
much time is allocated for that?
So that depends on the interviewer. Every
Okay.
interviewer is different. Some
Yeah.
interview wants to do leadership for 30 minutes, some wants to do for 15 minutes. Ev-
Okay.
So
Leadership
that
principle is one part of the interview, and the other part, how many questions you got in the first round?
they'll ask you one question, but
Mm,
on that one question there'll be various follow-ups. Like follow-up
mm.
can be,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
let's say you told for shortest part I'll do Dijkstra.
Mm,
Okay. So
mm,
then they'll ask, okay, why are you doing Dijkstra? Why not go for BFS, or why not
mm,
go for DFS or
mm.
something? They want to know that
Yeah, yeah,
why,
yeah. I mean, complete understanding of basics, right? That you are
or
missing.
maybe they want to know that you only did this problem or you copied it from
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yes,
That
yes.
also helps
Yeah,
them to
that
know.
debate will actually clarify the things.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
will
So
clarify.
that's a good thing, one thing. So
Mm.
every DSA round is two parts, one Amazon principle and another one is your one question, detailed
Mm.
one and various follow-up questions
Mm.
and mostly about the basic understanding of the things that you have done. So first round on-site was from which chapter and how what level of question?
Question level, I would say medium only. I won't
Mhm.
say it's, uh, yeah, because, yeah, medium only, I would say.
Mhm.
Chapter was
Mm.
graph,
Okay.
as I said,
And
and
similarly, the second round, what chapter
medium,
and what level?
medium, tree,
And the
medium.
online assessment was more difficult, as you were saying, right? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
because
And
media's problem is still you can tackle. But since it is face to face, they are absolutely sure that you are not doing anything underhanded. So they can go ahead and just discuss normal questions at least, right? Otherwise,
yeah,
in the first round, you get weird questions.
but also face to face medium also becomes a hard problem.
Yeah, so they know it, because otherwise, if they ask hard question, then you are not doing it in privacy. So particularly your performance may get affected when somebody is on your face and
Yeah,
consistently watching you, right? And
yeah,
online
yeah.
assessment is like you can sit with a pen paper, nobody's watching you. You can take your time and do it, right?
Yes.
So that's a
So
different method.
yeah, and then so yeah, this were the two
So
rounds
what was the
and
chapter?
LLD
Second one you said?
three, three,
Three. Okay.
three,
All graph questions.
three.
Okay, fine. Then
Yeah.
third.
And third one for logical and maintainable, I would say. I mean, everybody probably has a different experience, but in my point of view, for Amazon, you have to know design patterns very well, and you have to know how to apply a design pattern. Your code should have zero coupling.
Hmm.
They don't want to see your code to be any coupling.
Hmm.
And what I mean by that, if I give you a different requirement,
Hmm.
then how you are not changing any existing code. If you
Hmm.
wrote any test, I mean, basically how we write in a company, if you write any test, we don't necessarily want to change those tests.
Hmm.
Tested file remains the same.
Hmm.
So they want zero coupling, and
Yeah.
basically they are wanting production ready code.
Hmm.
And you have to do
Somebody,
some,
yeah, somebody who has gone through extensively on the code base, they would know about it, because the code
yeah,
in the companies are organized in that way. So you just have to be attentive to those things, right?
yeah. But that also depends. I mean, I've worked in some companies. They don't care that anybody anybody is writing anything.
But how the
Anybody,
CS get approved?
yeah,
Yes, sir.
anybody is approving PR. Anybody is writing anything. That also
Okay.
happens.
Okay.
But
Maybe, I mean, yeah, I thankfully I have not seen anything, any such thing in my
yeah,
company. So I have worked.
I've
Yeah.
seen like, yeah, but I don't want to go there, but it
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
That also.
Okay. I mean, that is off topic question. So anyway, so I think the LLD is mostly
Yeah,
about your understanding about how you handle the
design
code
code.
and structure the code, right? So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
also requires you to be paying attention to this and actually get it done. But like you
Yeah.
cannot just go and do it, right?
For instance, I'll give you a short example. Let's say I tell you that you have to design uh, such that you can move right and left, right? But that's only for now.
Mm,
You can move right and left now, but maybe
mm,
the requirement comes, you will move diagonally.
mm,
Now, if I hard code right and left, then my whenever you give me a new requirement, every time I'm changing the logic.
yeah.
So that's not, then you just failed
Yeah.
over there.
Yes. Yeah.
So something like that. Like there is a contract. Every time you're writing a API, you
Mm,
maintain a contract
mm,
between the client and
mm,
a client and the application makes a contract. The
mm,
contract should not change. That's the
mm.
first.
Yeah.
And inside the contract, you have to make sure the implementation is scalable. And
Mm,
then another question they can come is, let's say if 10 million requests are coming,
mm,
how did you are you, if you're let's say creating 10,000 objects,
mhm.
your system is going to be out of memory soon
Yeah.
or something like that. I mean, basically
Mm.
everything you probably can't cover in the interview, but you
Yeah.
think at least
Yeah.
like
I
that.
mean,
Yeah,
they can
yeah,
just check the understanding of the candidate, like
yeah.
how much you understand. So what will you actually associate your LLD round to on a broader topic-wise scale? Like what kind of pattern, or what did you end up applying? Just on
So
a
yeah.
high level.
There is one design pattern called strategy
Hmm.
uh, that I had to use. Then there is one more. I think it's called something. It's about saving memory. I think it's cache design pattern, which use a cache. You don't create objects multiple times.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't remember the exact pattern name, but
Mhm.
it's basically that every object, if you see that is being repeated, you get it from the cache. You don't have to create. So
Mm.
then you can use that. Uh,
Mhm.
but I think it was majorly then polymorphism. You should know what is how to use polymorphism.
Yeah,
That will help you in decoupling the code.
yeah.
For instance, if you're writing a code which is like if you're writing a code such as if instance of bird, if instance of peacock, if else instance of peacock, else
Mm.
instance of sparrow,
Mm.
your code is not following a solid principle.
Yeah.
You're it's not open to extension.
Mm.
Every time I will introduce a new bird, you will add one more else if condition, and then you will so you can use polymorphism over there.
Yeah. 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 Okay,
So
I got
not
your
only
idea.
just
Yeah.
yeah, I mean basically not only just learning that okay these are the solid principle, but how can I make the code?
Yeah, that application and as per the use
Yeah,
case, you have
yeah.
to choose and I mean, you have to be attentive to any future change in requirement or
Yes,
additional requirements, right?
yes.
So
Not
that's how
only
you make extensible code anyway. Yeah.
yeah, knowing solid principle by just
Yeah,
thoroughly
knowing
work.
is one thing, and being
Yeah,
attentive to
yeah,
this is also a skill. And I think with
yeah.
some practice you can develop because some
Yes, yes,
things
yes.
you see and you will be developed. It is not like
Yeah.
a very big deal that others cannot do. Yeah. So that
Yeah.
is one part. And the last was your HLD round, right? So how was that?
HLD, I mean, for HLD, all thanks to you, Surya, firstly. I mean, I wouldn't have done anything in HLD. Uh, I'll tell you what, they were asking me about network. We were talking about network protocol initially, what protocol you will use for communication. As soon
Mhm.
as I said WebSocket, the interviewer was he got the answer probably they wanted, and then they just wanted to move on. And so they're like, okay, let's talk about something. And I remember when you did my mock, I kept on talking WebSocket, WebSocket,
Yeah,
WebSocket.
yeah.
I was
You were like in the mock, you were too much inclined towards the WebSocket, and I was like, okay, man, that is done already, but you are extending it too
like,
much.
so then I was like, okay, he's saying move on, that means move on. So in
Yeah,
my
and move
brain, I
on.
was just thinking,
Yeah,
yeah, so
move on.
yeah. So then I said, okay, let's talk about storage now.
Mm,
So, but yeah, I mean, the question was similar to like design Yelp, I would say. How do you do something like that? And
mm,
I think what you taught in system design was way more detailed
mm.
than probably I would ask in future if I apply for bigger roles like SD3
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Because this we are actually covering everything so that all possible problems are covered. And if you know more, then applying less is so much easier for you, right? And
yeah,
you get
maybe,
more confidence, I think, after
yeah,
that.
yeah, maybe when I apply for bigger roles, they might be more interested in these terms, but didn't go broadly over everything. But for example, like you taught so many consistency models, they didn't want to hear 10
Yeah, because
consistency
this was just
models.
SD2 level, right? So if you were
Yeah,
for architect level or some senior engineer level, then they would be more interested in that.
maybe,
Yeah.
yeah. So they didn't want to hear so many consistency level, or they didn't, you give them, tell them how will I manage. They just want give me this keyword, I'll move on. And then they
Yeah.
just want to hear
Because this
keywords.
is the first time you are expected to give the design round. And before
Yeah,
that, if you are expected to be an SD1, then you are expected to just know this thing firsthand. So you are not expected to have worked extensively on these things. Now, when you interview
yeah.
for SD3, the things will be and will completely different and expectations also with that.
Expectations
Then
will
this will be coming in more handy about each and every minute details and trade-off that we have discussed, right?
yes, yes, yes. What they were very much interested, I feel, was they wanted to know storage. You should know what type of storage to use on all four types of commonly used storage: graph,
Mm.
key value, column by document based relation, whatever these storage are. What
Mm.
storage you use, when do you use what? They want to know that. and then they want to know, if you say you want to shard your database, or you want to shard
Mm,
your queue, or whatever you want to shard,
mm,
what is the sharding key? They want to know how do you handle the sharding key. uh, then they also are interested that network protocol they are interested, and how do you handle if writes are becoming high, like what kind of replication model will you use if writes are too much, something like that. And
mm.
but yeah, I mean, but nothing, you have taught things in much more depth, I feel. Details you
Mm.
have gone to quorum and atomicity and so many things that you've taught, they didn't go that much.
Yeah, because if I feel like if you have more basic level understanding in depth, then you feel like your answer flowing out of you instead of forcing out, right? So forcing
Yeah,
out will be like you will be scared that, oh my God, they should not ask something related or here and there. But like, how would you answer if you know all the things and like, okay, I'm not ready for any question, but you can ask any question, right? So I can handle those things. So that kind of calmness actually shows confidence in you, and that is a positive sign that interviewer will notice,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, definitely. Like after your teaching with your in your classes, I feel like um, I felt like maybe I don't know your design, but I can have a discussion with you for sure. Like whatever I would, maybe I'm not giving the design that you had on your paper or
Mm,
you had in your mind, but I can have a good discussion. This much
mm,
knowledge I have that. So
mm.
that confidence, I think you did a great job
Yeah,
in.
I mean, design is about discussion with confidence, and yes, you cannot know all the things, you cannot always be right, but about how you discuss is also noticed and marked. So I think you have done well in that part after the mock interview, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, because you may have been knowing a lot of things already, but I think the way you gave the mock interview was completely, I felt like you have written so many things in your docs that I have read this, done this, this is to be done, and the mock interview is not reflecting what you have studied actually. Maybe you will be knowing but not presenting good enough. So I think that is all. That was the biggest improvement, I think, from what you say.
yeah. No, and also before you, I thought, oh, I need to know separate design for YouTube. I need to do separate design for this. But after talking to you, your classes, I felt like you don't have to know 10,000 designs.
Yeah.
You know few designs, know them well. So you can apply those applications at
Yeah.
other places.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like how
And
we did
basic,
the streaming class last
yeah,
week
yeah,
that you have attended. So in that we were taking an example of VOD, that is Netflix, but I also told you that this is the process which everyone follows. And
yeah,
this is a standard practice, or definitely their proprietary stuff is not expected to be answered, but on a higher level, this is the things, transcoding, encoding, and whatever protocols you're using. So that shows that, okay, you know everything. So that's
yes,
fine. So
yes,
I think you
yes.
had asked some question, right? How well, somebody was asking how YouTube would be designed and how Netflix wouldn't work like
Amar,
this. And
Amar
so,
asked the question
yeah,
about,
so so yeah, I
yeah,
told that okay, we don't need to do all the designs would be covered in just one session.
yes, yes,
Anyway,
yes.
like it was good performance. Already you had a grip on DSA. So that is good to see because many people struggled in DSA a lot and they actually overlook design because they struggle in DSA. So,
Got
you
it.
know, if you have to have strength in at least one thing to be feeling more confident and be prepared in 1 month or 1.5 month even, because you cannot go ahead and be good at DSA in short time with
Mm.
some guidance and with some theoretical study and all, you can manage your design round, but not your DSA round. And also
Yeah,
in design, I actually people just study this video and this blog and that's it. But with that you don't understand the application. It's not like they have done it bad, but it's like you have to understand how it works in different scenarios. And unless I think you discuss with somebody or you don't participate in discussion or in a class environment, then I think design is something that you will always be questioning yourself in, right?
yes, yes, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, yeah. No, of course, you're right.
I
Of
have seen people telling me that design is something I'll prepare in 1 week. I was thinking, how will you prepare in 1 week? People have
course.
been like,
Very hard. Design is not easy.
yeah. Yeah, because the expectations, one word you utter, one nonsense word, it will kill your interview. You may have uttered very good, you may have given good answer, but one
Yeah.
silly mistake which is not even expected, then
They'll
you are gone. Then you are gone. There is no such thing that they're coming back. In
you
DSA,
start.
however, this can be overlooked. That okay, you may have given this answer by mistake, and they will give you another chance. But in design, like no coming back. It is like
Yeah,
over,
they
right?
lose interest. Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that.
So I think you have done really well, and I mean, I hope others would also follow in this.
If you are someone who is looking to prepare for top product based company within a limited time of just 3 months, then we have brought for you both the DSA and the system design live interview training program. The most important feature of this program is you get a filtered and condensed structured curriculum, in-depth discussion of all the topics, and my guarantee of your understanding, one-on-one guidance with me, and live weekend classes. To know more about the training, you can WhatsApp us on this given number.